How many, out of curiosity, were at the sermon on Sunday or have since watched it? Oh yeah, cool. And how many have read Hosea? Just so we know what we're dealing with. Excellent. Okay, Mel has got a juicy quiz to get us started. So on your tables you will find paper and pens. I didn't bring any chocolate fish. If you win, you can have another piece of cake. What?
Celebration on Sunday.
Oh yeah, actually if you win on Sunday you can put your hand up in the celebration thing, but you have to say that you came to Soul Lab and that it was awesome. Okay, high stakes, here we go.
I'm so ready, okay. This is as a group, teamwork. We are Christian. There are 10 questions.
And no one's allowed to look at your booklets. So close them right now.
I'm watching you, Diane. Okay.
I'll sit down over here.
The first question. How many chapters are there in the book of Hosea? Shh. What was the name of the most prominent northern tribe during the time of Hosea?
Thank you.
There is an island. Yes. What does Hosea's name mean? What does Hosea's name mean? It's in the booklet.
We're not allowed to look.
Yeah, don't look.
Is it in the book of the Bible or is the booklet?
It's in the booklet.
Yeah.
That's why I was there.
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay. What do Hosea's children's names mean? All three of them.
Is it 1 point for each name?
Yeah.
Wait, what they mean?
Yeah,
What they mean. What is one of the ones that was a bit long to explain?
You can summarize.
Do it briefly.
The first song was.
What flower does God declare Israel will bloom like? It's in the book.
Yeah.
Question 6. Name at least 3 other prophetic books in the Old Testament.
Wait, prophetic books, you know? Not like the latest What happens we write number 3?
Then you don't get extra points.
But she said,
Do they have to be the ones that are in the book? No.
It doesn't matter what minor or major club you've got.
Question 7. What 6 things will God betroth Hosea's wife in? What 6 things will God betroth Hosea's wife in? What 6 things?
Are we getting like 1/6 of a point for each? No, we'll just write the ones we know.
Okay.
Just write what we know.
Say that again.
What 6 things will God betroth Hosea's wife in?
Hosea's wife. Unfaithfulness.
Oh, yeah.
Shall I read it in my head? You're so brutal.
Idolatry. Okay. There's got to be more.
Your positive things, guys.
Unfaithfulness. Worshipping Baal. Worshipping another. Yeah.
I think God is giving good things.
Worshipping just more than 6.
Question 8. How much does it cost Hosea to clear his wife's debt?
So many shekels of silver. I don't think it's that high.
That's the number that's in my head.
20 shekels of silver. A holm. A homer. I wonder what a homer was.
Clearly, I was very
2 shekels, okay? And then there was a homer.
Question 9.
And some barley.
What did God say the Israelites would be like that could not be numbered? What did God say the Israelites would be like that could not be numbered?
I just read it. I was horrible too, but I read it. No, stars. Oh, okay.
Question 10. What sin caused Israel's destruction according to Hosea? It is a lack of something.
Which went through.
It's a classic
That's what they keep on referring to.
Okay. Are you ready for the answers? How many chapters are there in the book of Hosea, guys?
14.
Yes, correct. Alright. Does anyone have the name of the most prominent northern tribe? Cha-ching! I like your pronunciation. Ephraim. Americans really like it anyway. Ephraim. What does Hosea's name mean?
Word of God.
Salvation and deliverance. Don't know how they know that. What were the meanings of Hosea's children's names? Now, you had to get all 3 to get the point for this one.
Number 1 is all scattered. That's what Israel means.
That's the actual definition.
Technically. Yeah.
Or the place of slaughter.
By Jehu.
Correct.
Did you repeat this for the microphone?
We've got Jezreel, which means seed or scattered, or the place where a lot of bad stuff happened.
Jesus just slaughtered a whole bunch of people.
Not love.
We have not loved
And not my child.
and not my people.
Someone who's not my child, man, literally wasn't my child. Great.
What flower does God declare Israel will bloom like?
White lily?
Yes! A white lily. Name at least 3 other prophetic books of the Old Testament.
Habakkuk.
Yeah? Yeah. Correct. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Amos, Malachi. Any others you thought of are probably right also.
1 point or 3.
That's 1 point, guys. All right. What are the 6 things that God will betroth Hosea's wife in?
Tell us, Mel.
Okay. He will betroth her to him forever. So himself. Righteousness, justice, love, compassion, and faithfulness.
Opposite way round.
We got mercy and grace. I think that's
Oh yeah, those are also nice.
Shows I'm just not the right one.
How much did it cost Hosea to clear his wife's debt?
20 shekels. I thought it was 36 or 12.
I thought it was 12.
And half a
It is-
bushel of
And a homer?
and barley.
15 shekels of silver and 9 bushels of barley. What did God say the Israelites would be like that could not be numbered?
Stars in the sky?
No, grains of sand.
Grains of sand on the seashore.
The other one. The other common
And the last question, a lack of what caused Israel?
Chastity.
A lack of knowledge. Okay. Who got more than 9, aka 10? Who got 9? Who got 8? Who got 7? Who got 6? Yay, very good also. 5. Oh, pretty good. That's all of us, right? 4. I love you all. Good job. A lack of knowledge will not destroy us.
Well done, you guys. I hope you're feeling a little bit warmed up. We are going to do now what we always do at Soul Lab, which is start with throwing out any questions that we have on the board with the hope that we might be able to answer them. So, oh sure, yes, Mel is going to write them up for us. So if you have any curly questions, hit me with them. Yvonne.
Okay.
Oh, you got a list?
Yeah, no, I haven't. But it's got meat to it, so. Overall, has the attitude changed how men and women are seen within the church and as a church? So from the old time,
Like Old Testament times. How have men and women how's attitude towards men and women changed from now since the Old Testament?
That's not in Hosea though. That's a good question.
It's a great question. We can chuck it on the board. We might not get there tonight, but that's all right. It's a really good springboard for all of these kinds of questions. So, any other questions that we've got? Diane.
Did you find any evidence in the text about Gomer having children already before she married?
Oh, did Gomer have children already before?
I thought I saw something about that, and then I went back and I could not find it. And the other thing I noticed, more than a comment, is that the voice seems to change. Like at the start, Hosea gets instructions, God says, go and do that. Well, maybe it is God's voice throughout, because he seems primarily to either be ranting at Israel or grieving for their behavior.
Yes. So what's with the change of like voice? Yeah.
Voice, yeah.
Yeah. The style of the text, it changes.
Who is speaking?
Who is speaking? Great question. Who is speaking?
I think it's mostly God, but
That's great. Other questions? Tim?
Were any of the children even Hosea's?
Were any of the children even Hosea's?
Or were they like her?
Or were they children of Whoredom? As
Yeah.
the
I mean, it says children of Porter, but he names them, so.
Yeah.
I think it was their first child.
We can just chuck all the questions up for now and then come to answering them as we go. We could go down lots of rabbit holes at this moment. Tim?
Another question. I was reading a bit in chapter 11, and it says, how can I treat you like Adma? How can I make you like Zeboim? Who are they?
Yeah, what's with all the random place and people names?
Yeah, random names in chapter 11. You can just say, who are they? What are they?
Cool.
It said that the priests joined in with the bad people and did bad things, but the bit that's sort of half understandable was where they went after women because that's in men's nature. I don't know if they had wives or not, so I'll just leave it there. But the bit that was really disgusting is where they jumped in and helped rob people on the side of the road. So it said that they went together with the crooked people and robbers and robbed people. What made them? Because wine might make them want to go for a woman, you know, but what would make them want to rob innocent people? Yeah. What would make them want to do that?
What made the people get to the state they're in?
Yeah. Of wanting to rob innocent people. You know?
Yeah. It's a good question.
And did they have wives? The ones that were, you know, the ones,
like the priests?
Yeah, the priests. Did the priests have wives? The ones that were getting drunk and going the wrong way, did they have wives?
Yeah.
Or were they single?
Yeah.
Because single people might get lonely and get mixed up with the wrong people, but surely someone's got a loving wife. Would he not want to be devoted at home? So was it something like his singleness that caused him to get in the wrong road?
Yeah. So what's the deal with the... It's a whole thing about marriage in Hosea, isn't it? Just all of the imagery.
So, were the priests married?
Yeah, were the priests married.
Yeah.
Cool. Kevin?
A lot of times through the Bible it says about the woman being promiscuous, we pronounce it, but it's men just as bad.
Great question, Kevin. Aren't men promiscuous like the women? Yeah, what about promiscuous men?
Yeah, well, if the priests were married, they're promiscuous too.
I think promiscuous is not necessarily referring to if you're married or not.
No, but it's like...
Is it like flirting? Is it like putting yourself out there? You're trying to...
My understanding is that it means like sleeping around.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding of it. Which is regardless of whether you are married or not.
I know in like the 1800s, it was very common for men to sleep around.
I think that's the half of this.
Yeah, but it would have been...
Any other questions for Hosea? Tim?
Why does God make things worse if they're going to be bad when Israel goes away from it anyway?
What do you mean
Well,
by
it
God
says,
making things worse?
I will, what does he say? I will ruin her vines and her fig trees.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of thing.
Like he's punishing
Yeah,
them.
why is he making it worse if it's already going to be bad?
Yeah, why is God making things worse when they're already going to be bad?
Because aren't these just threats and then he decides not to do them?
Maybe.
It's still, I think it's an important question though, because there is lots of language in there about God punishing people.
I
Sorry.
can throw it out to the very start. He said, since there's heaps of sin in the land, I'm going to get you to marry an unfaithful woman from an unfaithful background. What made him go down? What made the Lord decide to choose that area for him to go down? That's
as the metaphor?
Yeah. Why did he do that at the start? Why did he ask him to at the start of it?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Was your question,
Why
Tina?
did the Lord say to him, go marry a promiscuous woman
Yeah.
with children?
Why did God ask Hosea to marry a promiscuous
Because
woman?
there was heaps of sin in the land, but how was that going to help the sin in the land? How was it going to? What was the whole plan of what was the whole direction on that going to be?
Any last questions before we go on to our first activity?
There's another thing that I couldn't find out. It was they said that they love the resin cake or raisin cake. The sacred
That was a random,
So I want to know, was it sacred raisin
Yeah,
cake?
what? What is a sacred?
Or was it sacred resin cake as in resin as in like marijuana as in resin?
Oh, right. Yeah.
As in resin,
In my version it said raisin, but why?
But why is it a sacred?
Yeah, what makes the raisin sacred,
It's sacred raisin cake.
It must be Christmas cake that's a sacred raisin.
No, it was making out it was bad.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, Christmas cake's not bad, so it can't be the same thing.
It was sacred.
Yeah.
It was called sacred.
Yeah.
It was made when we looked that up, didn't we?
Yeah.
That it was actually the skins of the grapes that were all pressed together after the
Oh,
wine.
that's cool.
So was it?
Oh, that's
did it make you
cool.
feel drunk? Oh, okay.
We didn't know. We couldn't find a record.
I just wondered if it made them feel funny. That's what was called sacred, and they used it for the wrong things. There we go.
This is a great lot of questions, you guys. My question that I want to add up there, I think it goes with the why is God going to punish. But one of the other things that makes me uncomfortable is there's a bit that says, when they're talking about God, though he harms us, he will heal us. And my question is, does God harm people? Can I even have a question if I'm up the front? That's right, because I don't have to have all the answers. That's why I got all of you guys. 30 brains in a room is much better than one brain.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is good. We're going to park these questions for now. Mel and I have a couple of activities that we're going to do, and then we're going to have some time at the end to discuss some of these curly questions. So maybe some more thoughts might come out as we do the activities. So we have, I'm just checking what's next, sorry. Oh, yes. We have an activity, I was already going to write on these, but that's okay, I'll get you guys to write on them. So this is the activity that on Sunday I did a little teaser for. So in my work as a teacher, we've used this model of Te Whare Tapawha quite a lot with my students. We would do a lot of work with about how they would be well in all areas of their life. And the thing that I love about the model, there's a picture in your booklet, is that hang on, sorry, I finished my train of thought, Robin. The four walls of the whare, and for me, as a pictorial person, like it just is such a good image of why it's important to look at all areas of our well-being, because if one of the walls is weakened, then, or especially if multiple are weakened, then the whole house is compromised. And so this model that we're using, we're taking it away from its original context because it was designed for the health sector. But I really like that this model is so holistic, and it makes me think about all of the parts of my life and how all of those parts are equally as important. And I think that when I look at the topic of sin through the lens of Te Whare Tapawha, it helps me to see how much sin affects all of the different areas of my life, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the four walls that I talked about in Te Whare Tapawha, and we're going to use those as sort of a springboard to think about how sin affects us. So each group, I'm going to give you one sin, and you're going to just take a little bit of time to think about how it affects each of those four areas. And there's a question prompt at the top that I'm hoping will be helpful to you. So, this group, your sin is going to be road rage. This group, oh, Robin, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say, where do we get the booklets from?
Oh, great. Mel has a spare booklet. She'll bring it to you. This group, your topic is going to be talking badly about your boss. Yes, yeah, that's cool. We can get you more booklets.
Don't say too much.
We're going to open you up.
Is there a sin beneath it?
All sin is the same.
So, this group over here, your topic is having a treat and hiding it from the people you're close to. Having a treat and hiding it from the people you're close to. In this group, you can choose, because I only came up with 3. So you could do road rage, you could do talking badly about your boss, or you can do having a treat and hiding it from the people you're close to. I'd love it if you picked one of those 3, just because I picked them on purpose.
Can we also look at Whenua that holds the house up?
If you have time, we only have about 5 minutes to work on this.
Talking bad about your boss and then hiding a treat. Hiding a treat?
Having a treat and hiding it from the people you're close to.
A treat is in
Like
your
when you go to the
children.
supermarket, you go shopping, I buy a bag of chips, I stop them in the car, I throw the bag in the rubbish bin outside the supermarket, so I never throw the bag of chips on the bag. But it's not the act of eating the chips, it's the hiding it.
So likelihood of crashing and the book.
I reckon saying bad stuff about your boss is we've all had to deal with. Yeah. They're all little minimal sins, aren't they? Lead to really bad. Okay, well, let's just do that one then. You should hear Kevin in that. You should hear Kevin in this. On the wall. I mean when he was 19. He told me all about it.
My body.
High blood pressure. High blood pressure. So that's not your mind, that's your body, isn't it? What
For those of you who are joining on the recording, if you want to join in with this activity, it's in your booklet in the very middle pages. I'm very sorry that the numbering is a little bit off, but the very middle pages, it says page 5. But the 3 sins that you can choose between is road rage, having a treat and hiding it from the people you're close to, or talking badly about your boss. So you can pick one of those and brainstorm, use the diagram in your booklet to brainstorm how that sin affects your well-being.
One kid asked me at the start of the lesson, they asked me like,
Is it, you got unfair, you got unfair,
So what do you think? Okay, so just leave you.
would that be under judging?
It's under
Oh, well, I'll give her that.
complaining, complaining to being in a relationship, or the word what's the word?
It could make us scared, yeah. It could make us feel distant from God.
If you're like,
Thank you too.
what's the word for that? It's like, there's a word. So like, not like, if you were on the way, if you were on the way to like a lunch or something, and you got there, and what you did was like, oh, terrible driving on the road, and like, oh, I crashed, blah, it might like, make an atmosphere like not positive, and like people might not be as like endeared towards you.
We're thinking we're doing it on purpose. We're thinking, how would we do it? We're thinking we're doing it on purpose. We've done this on purpose. Instead of thinking they've just done it by accident, we can think they've done this on purpose. Yeah, so purposeful, we can think they've done it on purpose. They don't like us. They've pulled out in front of us on purpose. They've done it because they don't like us. Write it however you want to. However, people don't like us. Just write it how it sounds. What's an extra word?
Just take another minute or two, and we're going to gather up in a minute. So finish off your thoughts.
One thing you've done on purpose, you might try to come.
Okay, if I could gather you back in. Just want to re-emphasise, I'm going to get some of your thoughts in a moment, but just want to re-emphasise that the point I made on Sunday, that when we look at the reality of sin and how it impacts us and others, it's not about having a guilt trip. It's not about condemning ourselves. It's about being honest about how things affect us and affect others. Because if we're honest about it, well, that makes us want to change. And that's what Hosea is doing in the text, is that he is presenting Israel's sin to them as it really is, so that they can look at it and go, oh, that's not good, and to prompt them to change. So that's why we're doing this activity. I think probably you'll all have similar answers regardless of what topic you did. So can a couple of people just call out what are some of the effects of the sin that you had on your tinana, on your body?
Higher blood pressure.
High blood pressure? Tension, yeah.
Upsets your nerves.
Upsets your nerves, yeah.
Eyes off the road.
Eyes off the road, yes, you're obviously doing road rage, yeah.
Bringing
Yeah, hiring your adrenaline levels. Yeah. Impaired decision making. Yeah. Irrational behaviour. Yeah. Depending on what it is. I know this group back here had having a treat and hiding it. That was your group, eh? At the back. Yeah. Depending on what that treat is and how often it is. Stress. Yeah. Sin has a physical impact on your body. Yeah, especially, I was talking about with the back group as well, the having to hide something that brings up all those feelings of shame and guilt, and that has a physical element in your body when you're feeling shame. Okay, so what's the next one down after tinana? Hinengaro. How does sin affect your mind? Thoughts, feelings? Angry? Yep. Shame? Yep. Thought spirals? Blaming others? Yep.
Gives negative thought patterns.
Yeah, negative thought patterns.
Strengthening the negative pathways.
Strengthening the negative pathways, yeah. Tubbs's Autobahn sermon, if you remember that from like 5 years ago. What's that, Hayden? Pride? Yep. Yep.
That was a good one, Hayden.
Yeah, we took righteous anger.
Righteous
But
anger?
not actually.
But yes, yeah.
Just regular.
Thank you.
You feel like it's right.
Self-righteous anger, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. So sin has an impact on our thoughts and on our feelings. What's the next one that we've got? Taha wairua. How does sin affect your spiritual life?
Hiding from God. Yeah.
Hiding from God, yeah.
Distant from God.
Distant from God.
In my own right.
Oh, yeah.
My own right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether you believe in God or not.
Yeah.
My right.
Two different things.
Still part of the spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it puts your focus on things other than God.
Yeah.
So to pray and listen and
Ours was talking about your boss, and we're actually colleague, and so we said that it conflicts because it disintegrates into gossip, which is makes you unforgiving and it robs you of
Yeah. Negativity, yeah. Yeah, I think what we're starting to get into is good, because I think what we as Christians sitting in the church think of as our spiritual life, I think that perhaps, particularly when thinking of Te Whare Tapawha, it's actually a bit wider than what we tend to think of. I think there's a lot more going on spiritually for us than we would necessarily think of in the classical sense, I suppose you could say. In that, for example, when I go into a room and you guys were talking about this, when you go into a room and if someone comes into the room, if they've just been having road rage and they've just got this energy about them that's like, yuck. Yeah, and so there's that element as well, though. Yeah. Yeah.
Shame.
Yep. Yep.
Spirit starts to bubble up that shame.
Yeah.
Of how you behave.
Yeah. And what was our last one? We've had Hinengaro, Tinana, Wairua. Oh yes, our social. How does sin impact our social well-being?
With road rage, you could cause a crash.
Yes, you could cause a crash. Isolation. Oh yeah. Erodes trust. Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
they do this road rage often.
Yeah.
If they've got family, you wouldn't want to be in there, would
Yeah. As in, the people in your car when you've, definitely.
Yeah, we sort of said it
Yeah.
teaches people like family that this is how you do things.
Yeah, teaches people in your family that this is how you do things. Yeah.
Like children in the car. It's not
Like your kids, for example,
puts one on guard against other people.
Puts you on guard against other people, yeah. Anyone ever felt like they have to walk on eggshells around someone to not upset them? Yeah.
Dividing the family.
Divides the family? Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's a weak family or...
Yeah. This is really helpful, you guys. Thank you for sharing and contributing. This is a really helpful exercise for you to do personally in your own prayer time when you feel convicted about something. And I have had moments where I felt convicted about some of my thought patterns or some of my actions, and I sort of just sit with it, and I think about the impact of that on other people. And it's not until I do that that makes me realise how that sin is affecting me and affecting others. And when I reflect on that, that helps me to want to change. So I want to encourage you to, in a not in a condemning way, but in a convicting sort of way, to really dig into the impact of our sin and our actions. We're going to have another activity now, which is based on the other of the two themes that we talked about on Sunday, which is grace. And bring it out. I just think that the best way to engage with Hosea and all of its goodness is to really just read it and sit with it and allow it to really sink in. And so we've chosen three passages from the text, and we'll give one to each group. And I'd love for you to identify what is God doing in the passage that is grace, right? You could say, what does grace look like with legs? Like, what is the physical actions that God is showing that is grace? Take a look. I reckon just one passage per group. So we'll take maybe again about 5 minutes of this. If you want to, I think the question's on the top. So what does grace look like in this passage?
It's just for you.
As long as we know what it means. I understand the way it sounds anyway. I'm going to I got taught spell the way it sounds, and then when I got all the solid letters in there, I threw the book out and what the heck, he taught me for half an hour to spell the way it sounds, and now I've done that. He says it's all the solid letters and everything, and I'm going it should just be the way it sounds.
If you're wanting to join in with this activity at home, the three passages that we've chosen is all of chapter 3, chapter 11 verses 1 to 9, and chapter 14 verses 1 to 8. So if you want to choose one of those and have a look at how does God show grace in this passage? What are the actions of his grace? So I know we all had different passages, but we'll just all share our answers all at the same time. No. Okay, maybe not all exactly at the same time, but so what are some of the actions of God's grace that you can see in your passage of Hosea? What is God doing? Because grace is not an action word, right? I sit, I stand, I eat my breakfast. Those are like doing words, but I don't grace. Oh, unless I say grace before dinner, but that's a different thing.
You can grace someone with a gift.
Yeah, but you're giving them a gift, right? The grace is that you're giving them a gift. Yeah, so the action of God's grace. What are the actions of God's grace that you can see in the passage? Love? Forgiveness? Yep.
Return to your wife and nothing.
Faithfulness, hey? Yeah. Returning to broken relationships. Yeah.
Change of heart.
Change of heart. Yeah. God changes his mind.
Pays off her debts.
Pays off her debts. Yes. Yeah. Well, did you have another one, Robin?
Well, and it sort of tells you why, and so we can feel God's sadness.
Oh, yeah. We can feel God's sadness. Yeah.
And telling us that the way he's going to do it is through new life, new beginnings.
Yeah, he starts new things in us.
Young, new life. So,
Yeah. New life, new seasons,
Yeah.
new relationships. Yeah.
What about heal?
Hang on, sorry. Joe?
Bountiful harvests afterwards.
Yes, bountiful harvest. Could you expand on what you mean by that?
All the grapes that we're going to grow.
Oh, he sort of, he restores things to her, eh? Yeah, there were things that were, because we have to be careful of, God doesn't, of the prosperity gospel, you know, like God's a slot machine and I put in my good works and I pull the lever and then I get out God's blessing. Like that's not how it works, but he does because he returns the things that she had lost. Yeah, that's cool. Kevin?
Heal?
Heals, yes, he heals.
He said, I will heal their waywardness and love them freely.
I will heal their waywardness and love them freely. I love that verse. Yeah, Nolan?
Stripping away the excess leaves us empty and ready to be filled with God's grace.
Yeah, stripping the excess leaves us empty and ready to receive from God. Yeah. So that grace is him pruning is probably a good word. Hey, rather than just destroying stuff in us. Because he doesn't destroy stuff to make space for new, but sometimes he prunes.
Yes.
Any gardeners in the room? No, okay, not a single. Robin, okay.
Because this is Old Testament before Jesus came, he was like, you could see the Father, God.
Yeah.
It's like in this verse 3 of ours, it was I who taught Ephraim to walk, taking them by the arms, but they did not realise it was I who healed them. So it's a father talking, a parental type overview, and which leads to forgiveness and grace.
Yeah. So God's grace is like a paternal imagery. Yeah. That's cool. Any more? Tina?
God's grace will be like the dew to Israel. Very cool.
Yeah.
He blossom like a lily, like a cedar of Lebanon. He will send down his roots. His young shoots will grow. So I feel the grace there. His stem will be like a tree, and his fragrance like a cedar of Lebanon.
Yeah. It's sort of tied to what Yvonne was saying about new growth. Yeah. Yeah. And abundance. That's something that I always, all those images of nature spring to mind for me. Spring, get it? Spring.
We've got Hosea being told to go and show love to his wife again, so I just thought he probably has to go and find her first.
Yeah, Hosea showing love to his wife means he has to go and find her.
Probably has no idea where she's been.
Yeah, he has no idea where she's been. Yeah, I was talking over here about sorry, it's too late at night. The thoughts just slipped out of my head. Oh yeah, he has to go find her. Yeah, that Gomer is off somewhere and has no idea what she's done is wrong, and still Hosea, and God is the metaphor for, pursues her regardless of her even wanting it, I guess, or not wanting it, but recognising it. Yvonne?
Also, in some of the discussions, of where it was dark and then brought with Jesus's or God's words, just sort of helps you look towards why we do things of gratitude.
Oh yeah,
Because when you're in those dark places, you don't always see the grace that God's doing.
Yeah.
So you need to go sort of reflect back and say, oh, I'm grateful for shelter, or I'm grateful to have food and things like that.
Yeah.
It might sound simple, it's a simple way of looking at it.
Yeah, having gratitude helps us to recognise God's
Right.
grace.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes we can't see, we've got blinkers on, can't see that grace.
That's cool. Hey, thanks everyone for sharing. Oh, one last one,
I was
Robin?
going to say, if you bring that into the here and now,
Mhm.
it's also telling us that nobody's beyond redemption when you look at Gomer.
Yeah, nobody is beyond redemption. Yeah, absolutely. It's really...
And should we not judge like new people who come into
Yeah.
the church?
Yeah.
If we've got new people who might look a bit promiscuous, or they've been a bit lost, or
Yeah.
they might not be wearing the right clothes, or they
Absolutely.
might have tattoos, they could be guys or women that look a bit rough, or guys, either. We should, well, I don't know, make room for them, make
Yeah.
space where it's not us, but it's God's house. It's
Yeah.
not our house, but it's God's house.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it says, don't have the best stool and say sit on the floor. It's like give them
Yeah.
a good seat.
Yeah, that's cool. Diane, did you have one last thing to add?
It just occurred to me with the comment, and Robin speaking, or the comment about, God is, or Hosea pursues his wife, though she has no idea of the harm she's caused. I guess using the metaphor, God is pursuing us.
Yeah.
Continues to, I suppose that's
Yeah.
extrapolating into the present.
Yeah. God is pursuing us. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. And I want to encourage you guys that all of the goodness that I've got out of Hosea is from reading it, which if you listen to me on Sunday, I found really difficult. But it's when you sit with it and you find these little nuggets of gold, and when you really sit with them and meditate on them, I will heal their waywardness and love them freely. Like, to sit with that for 10 minutes and let that really sink into me. I just encourage you to go through and to read Hosea and to be looking for those little nuggets. We are going to have a short discussion time in your groups. So I've selected 4 of these questions. So each group, good luck, you're going to have one of these questions. So group at the back by the stairs, you are doing, why is God going to punish and make things worse? Does God harm people? Nice light question. I hope you're excited. This group up the front, you guys are going to have, what made the people get to the state they were in? The group up the back over there, you guys are doing, why did God ask Hosea to marry an adulterous woman? And group up the front, you guys are doing, God's voice. Does it change why does it change who is speaking? Like, who is speaking? So I'm going to give you maybe 4 minutes. 4 minutes to discuss, and then we'll come back for some sharing. Okay, if you're the spokesperson, could you put your hand up, just so I know who you're going to be? Okay, great. That group, have you guys got a spokesperson? A diet, excellent. Tim, your guys' question was about God's voice. Is it God speaking? Who's speaking in Hosea?
This is a tricky question, actually, and I'm not sure that we got it completely solved. But I just think, as in the New Testament, where each author has a different way of expressing the truth, so Paul's letters are different from Peter's, from John's, and each of the Gospels have their own different sort of, Gospel writers have their own different way of approaching it. So each Old Testament prophet has their own style. And the fact that Hosea didn't sort of pepper all his prophetic statements with "Thus says the Lord" just simply means that that was the way he went about it. So there's nothing in what he has written, particularly in chapters 5 to 14, that doesn't sound like God. So I don't know whether we're answering the question, but it still feels very valid to me that the book, that Hosea the prophet is reflecting what he genuinely believes God is saying to Israel at that particular time. So there we are.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, I think it's not very obvious, except for chapter 3, where it's like clearly a narrative, but pretty much all of the other bits, it's not clear whether it's Hosea and Gomer or God and Israel. And I think that's kind of the point, because prophets often lived out their prophetic message. And so I think like they're just so tightly connected. You don't know which one is historical Hosea and historical Gomer, and you don't know which is Israel. And I think, yeah, that's just the style of the writing.
Yeah.
Cool. This group back here, Robin, you're the spokesperson.
Our one was, why did God ask Hosea to marry, was it the promiscuous woman? And we put down that God could use that as an analogy to bring Israel back into the fold. And again, it showed that no one or Israel were beyond redemption.
That's really cool. Yeah, and again, it's those two themes, right? Like the choice of the adultery image is because it gets to the heart of what the people have done, right? They've taken themselves out of the intimacy of God, and I think the emotive, like the idea of promiscuity and adultery is so emotive, and it makes us feel so like gross and if you've experienced it, hurt, right? And I think that's why it's getting to that, because that's how God feels. He hates to be separated from us. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, you guys. Diane, are you the spokesperson over here?
Actually, your comments are a lovely segue, I think, for where we ended up.
Great, excellent. Here you go, have a segue.
Don't have a whole lot of profound. I think we talked around a lot of things, as Nolene said, didn't come to any conclusions, but we did. But I think we sort of felt God does not harm us, but we also felt that there was a very strong voice here that was deeply hurt and ranting and saying things like, "I will destroy you," I will attack you like a lion, or that are vengeful. But as you just said, Victoria, if you've been hurt in these ways and separated from what you most love, not only that, but betrayed, there is a reaction. And I think the voice here is speaking out of those feelings, not so much targeting with destruction. This is me now talking. but venting that grief and that rage and that loss. That's what I think. Is that what we think?
That's cool. Yeah, you guys had the "Does God harm us?" question, and like, why is God making it worse?
But I think the speaker's very upset.
Yeah, the speaker is very upset. And I think another helpful thing to remember when engaging with, seeing it written on paper, God harms us, that we have to remember that is already someone's interpretation of what God is saying. And so an intense feeling that someone is feeling on behalf of God, that's how they've chosen to write it down. Yeah, and so when I read about, God harming us, I sort of go, oh, that doesn't align with what I understand of God's character. And so either I've misunderstood God's character or I've misunderstood the passage. And I'd rather have misunderstood the passage, because I personally wouldn't want to follow a God who hurts people. So I'll pursue understanding the passage a bit better. Yeah, that's...
They lived in cultures in which small g gods did that.
Yes, yeah, they did. They lived in a culture where small gods, gods, small g, did hurt people, yeah. So that, perhaps the way that they talked about things might have come into that as well. Nolan, did you?
And maybe things got worse because people carried on doing so.
Yeah.
Which made things worse.
Things just kept getting worse because they kept living in sin. Yeah, right. I mean, Gomer just kept, like she was a massive whore, like she didn't just sleep with one other person. She'd sleep with lots. And that's, she just kept going anyway. Last group. Dale.
Our question was, what made the people... a lot of instructions here. What made the people to become in the state they were in? And we figured in the culture of the time and some of the naughty things the priests were doing, they were guided by the priests and sort of were led astray a bit by them. But basically they broke the covenant of God, they broke the 10 Commandments, and sin bred sin, they became more distant. And partly, thinking that they would gain from their sin, blinded by the wrongdoing and evil ways. It makes you blush.
It's an important one to grapple with, eh? Like, how did the people get to the state they're in? Because how do any of us get to the state we're in, right? The Israelite people are not any worse. They're not worse people than any of us. And how do any of us get to the state we're in? And I think there's just so many layers to it. And the two that I talked about on Sunday was either you just think it's not a big deal, everyone's doing, like it's a cultural sort of, like road rage, it's sort of a cultural thing that we have of our time where you get annoyed with people on the road. And generally, I would say that most people don't think it's that big of a deal. But actually, it is a big deal. Sam?
It just reminds me of, like, in our generation with, like, the Second World War, there's a lot of people who, hold so much resentment towards, say, like, the German people. And it's, when you step back from history, people are like, how the heck did that happen? And then if you actually go, like, right into the details of the society and the leaders and the different conversations that were happening and the different propaganda that was happening, it, like, makes it way more understandable how it happened.
Yeah.
And so, like, if in Israel, you go into the details and understand all of these different nuances and other cultures and things that were influencing them, then it makes it, like, way easier to understand how it happened.
Yeah, there's always a lot of layers to all of the horrific things that happen in our world. And I think something that I have thought about previously, a number of years ago, is in terms of adultery, that you don't just fall into bed with someone, right? You have habits that build up to that, and you have thoughts that you agree with that lead you there, and so you don't, I suppose those bigger sins that you think of, there's always it starts small, I think is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and that we have thoughts and we agree with them, and then eventually we start to act on them. And
as they say, a white lie is classed as something little, it's still a lie.
Yeah.
So that deceit, we deceive ourselves as
Yeah.
much as we deceive somebody else.
Yeah, we deceive ourselves. Yeah, when we think it's not a big deal.
Temptation had something to do with it in those days. There was law laid down, and you were supposed to adhere to it. Modern day time, it is more love one another. And the more you be good and come to me, the more I will love you.
Yeah, Jesus reinterpreted the law, because I think, all of those, the 10 Commandments and all of those other rules were designed to help people to love God. And when Jesus came, he sort of, the basis was always there, right, of love your neighbour. Like the point of that is, hang on, that's the way Jesus said it, isn't it? Love the Lord your God, that's the first one, right? That commandment that's about love. And then somewhere along the line, it got into legalistic, I have to only work so many steps on the Sabbath or something like that. And when Jesus came, he reinterpreted all of that law in light of himself. And because he said, I didn't come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. So the law itself wasn't bad. It was just how we as humans were interacting with it. Yeah.
People could have gotten into sin because of hurt in their life. That could have been like one of the layers that the ladies or the guys, they could have been hurt from something. And they've chose to go this type of way to try and find some happiness or some peace.
Yeah.
So basically the turn from God, but it started with a small thing like lots of hurt they couldn't deal with.
I think a lot of sin that we experience comes from a place of hurt. I think either because we're self-medicating because we don't know how to deal with it, or because we choose to hold on to bitterness and resentment, and then that builds. I definitely think hurt is a big part of how we end up in the state that we end up in. Yeah. It is just gone 9 o'clock, so I would love to pause it there. Mel, you had something to say about the raisin cake.
Actually, this group here spent a bit of time looking into raisin cake, and it gave me great insight, so thank you. And that was just that raisin cake was often offered in worship to other gods, and some other translations also describe this a bit better than the one we typically read from. So it's to say, you love other gods, you love offering these things to other gods and not to me.
That's cool. And I think, one last thought that I have is that in Hosea, it's very obvious that there's temples of other gods, right? But here in Western, what century is it? The 21st century? 21st century, white New Zealand, we all have God's little g as well. But it's not as obvious. So that's just something for you to take away and ponder. We all sacrifice to God's little g in different ways. So we'll wrap it up there. There was just one thing that I found this while preparing for the Soul Lab, and I wish I found it before I produced the booklet. So I've got this quote here that I found from Charles Spurgeon, just about that verse, I will love them freely. And I won't read it out to you because it's quite long, but we've put the printouts at the back. If you would like to take them away, I read this and I just was like, oh, bing, 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 all of this stuff clicked into place for me. And so Charles Spurgeon was, I don't know, he's old. Did anyone know when Charles Spurgeon was alive? Victorian era? I don't know what age that is. Yeah, 19th century. Oh yeah, that's like the 1800s, eh? It was a lot. He's definitely not alive anymore. But because it's written a long time ago, some of the language is and he was quite academic. So it's one of those ones where you sort of have to sit with it for a little while. But I would encourage you, if you have a quiet time, maybe to take one of these and just read it through. It's just expands on some thoughts on that Hosea 14:4, I will love them freely. The particular bit that I love that I've put in bold is, I will not accept their works in barter for my love. I will not receive their love as a recompense for mine. And that just speaks to me of the abounding grace that does not require anything from us at all. And I think that's really the point of Hosea, is God's abounding grace that's so much more incredible. And what was the phrase you used on Sunday that was really awesome about, say again? Oh yeah, a rational forgiveness. I just can't understand how God could take us back when we do that. And so just, being able to sit with that, I really encourage you to sit with that, because that's really what Hosea is about, once you can get past all of the more tricky stuff. I'm going to pray and then we'll finish up. Oh God, I thank you so much for your grace. I thank you that you have made a way for us to be reconciled to you. I pray that you love us freely. I thank you that you love us freely, and I pray that you would help us to accept and understand that. Would you help us to ponder your truth and your word, and would those things that you want us to really think about embed really deeply into our hearts and minds this week. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Really sorry, there was one thing that came to my mind that I forgot to say while I was praying. Do you mind if I share it? I was just thinking, you know, we think about God's grace, right? And we sometimes you can sort of think, like in the Romans passage, Paul talks about like, oh, you know, does that mean I can just do what I want? Because if I sin more, then I get more of God's grace. And what I love about Hosea is like, well, obviously no. Of course it matters what Gomer does. Of course it matters that she stops sleeping around with people. But that's not dependent on Hosea's grace for her. And so another reason to love Hosea all the more. Yeah, it just puts that in a really good light. So yes, take some flyers with you. I don't think there's any more cake to take out on the way out, sorry. If you had a moment to help us put the pews back, that'd be much appreciated. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your night.